Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about something that miffs me as someone who has been putting out video content as far as training stuff goes all the way back since 2012. So it's been 12 years at this point. And it really miffs me when I see influencers putting up stuff of their videos and they're not using safety equipment. And look how many times we have seen serious injuries and now even death as a result of this. Okay, we had that one bodybuilder or whatever doing a max squat outside of the rack using a spotter, obviously a weight he couldn't lift, had to have knee wraps, right? And he had safety racks. He didn't use safeties. He died. He died as a result of it. And people can try to blame his spotter all they want. No, he shouldn't have been in that situation. We've seen people who, again, this is another reason I say heavy dumbbell presses have no place in your training, right? If you can't get them into position safely on your own and do enough reps that it really is a hypertrophy exercise, you have no business using dumbbells. We've seen people try to go too heavy on dumbbell presses, and because there are no safety arms with them, we've seen at least one major influencer in the past rip a pec completely off the bone. Right? How much of this stuff are we seeing because people are trying to simply use a human spotter with no safeties? So everyone's like, oh, use spotters. Like, no, don't use spotters. We've seen people die and seen people tear pecs and stuff off the bone in recent years by using spotters. That is not your solution. It's not your solution. Right? Safety arms and slings and pins and pipes exist for a reason. Now, a few of these, some people will be like, some of your stuff there on this rack, it does look a little low. It's like, it does, but it's within the safety margins, meaning on the incline, I can just drop it down. The same thing here. If something goes wrong with this calf raise, and granted, it's only 415 on there. Again, I can still drop it into those slings. It's not going to crush me because it's way above my squat height. So even these are a little bit off, but you'll notice most of the benching, for example, most of the squatting, those safeties are 2 to 3 inches, within 2 to 3 inches of my bottom range of motion. Why? So we don't get hurt, right? So we don't get hurt. We don't injure ourselves. And it's not toughness. It's not bravado for people to not use safeties. And for me, because I used to work in a serious industrial environment, I have a different view of this. To me, I don't think injury should ever happen. I don't think a person should ever be hurt in a gym because of a lack of safety. Like, to me, that's inexcusable. Again, like I said, I've worked in an environment where we had to have safety meetings. Like, I used to do hydrogen and natural gas. Worked in repairing the units, a long time ago. And when we were doing these jobs and contracts, we had to have safety meetings. We had a tailgate safety meeting every single day. We had to go to safety school. Like, we had to be certified for every new place we went to. We had to go through their full day safety training, safety schools. Same thing when we went offshore. We had to have all this stuff and learn how to use all the safety equipment. Everything is checked, double checked. Everything is done with hole watches, fire watches. All right? Safety, 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 safety. And when you've worked in that sort of environment, you understand the differences. I remember one time, again, one of the service reps telling the mechanics, and they were talking about this stuff, and he's like, look, no, we will always take safety seriously. And he goes, it's not about toughness. He goes, I don't care how big and tough you think you are. He goes, if, this piece over here, we're moving, and it falls and crushes your leg completely off, I promise you're going to be screaming. It's like, I promise you're going to be screaming and crying no matter how tough you think you are. Like, it's not an issue of being tough. And I feel like we see that. And I think one of the guys that really missed me, I feel like I need to call him out. I should probably make some videos specifically about it. This guy, because I see it in my feed, he's called It's a Dream World. All right, the guy does all this goofball stuff and moves weights around. And he's obviously strong. Like, you can't take that away from him. But the way that he behaves of moving and carrying weights around the way he does in the gym, even though he's strong enough to handle it, his injury risk is high. His injury risk to other people around him is high. To me, that guy is nothing more than an ass clown. Irrespective of how strong he is or how impressive his physique is, his behavior is that of a clown. And behaving like that in a way that's unsafe to everyone around him, unsafe to himself, and then setting it as an example in videos makes him nothing more than a complete ass clown who should be mocked. Okay? Because he is harming other people. Because I've now seen other people try to imitate him and do the things that he does in the gym and then film it. Like he has a negative influence. And that's a perfect example. I was talking about this when that other guy passed, right? When he got hurt. And I wasn't even aware of this, that the Dream War guy exists. And I said, look, this is the examples you guys are setting. Like your lack of safety in the gym when you're an influencer, other people are going to imitate it. And people are going to get hurt because young, impressionable people are going to imitate what their person they look up to is doing. And if you're not using safety arms, then they don't need them. Like if this guy doesn't need them, then I don't. And now you have guys like him, I should probably do a current events on it, getting up, walking around with weights on his back around crowded gyms, walking into stores and things with a barbell across his back loaded with 405. Right? Endangering everyone around him. And even if it's all stunts and everyone's aware of what he's doing and they're not really at any risk, he is now encouraging other people with his stupidity to do the same thing. And it's going to cause people to be hurt. And people are getting hurt then doing something that I love and am passionate about, and that's lifting. Right? I love lifting. I'm passionate about it. It's a critical part of my life, my lifestyle. I encourage others to do it. So then people are getting hurt doing something hurt unnecessarily, right? Because injuries do happen, right? It does happen. We're moving big weights, especially if you compete. Been in powerlifting meets and seen some pretty nasty injuries. It happens. But to do it unnecessarily because you're just going to be a clown and not do everything inside with safety racks and safety bars, that's horrible. And to encourage other people to do it because they're imitating you makes you a bad person, right? A terrible influence on others. And that's what I mean. People want to hate on people for the weirdest things on social media and even in the lifting world, but then you have people doing stuff like that who are causing direct harm, right, with the influence that they're creating. Just can't get my head around it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.